All right, so the entire state of Texas requested a video tour of the headliner slash sunroof area of a 77 series with it removed. And so this is the big hole that's left in your truck when you take that out of here. You can see there's kind of, hopefully with the lights aren't too bad, there's kind of a cross member, and I'll show you where the little stubby guys go in a second. There's a full length cross member across the roof back here. This guy is kind of just a flange or bendy, flangey kind of thing, not sure. And that flange goes all the way around. You can see it here. These are actually just pressed in, and then there's just some spot welds on that. You can see mine has a little bit of surface rust in a couple of spots. The weather stripping rubs on that rim around there. I don't have any serious rust issues, but if I let it go, it is going to turn into a serious rust problem. And that, like they're rods that hold the headliner up. So I don't really have a direction for this video. So there's just a flange that goes around the outside of there. And let's look at that really quick. So I think the parts diagram, and this is where your dome light goes. So the parts diagram on the non-sunroof truck lists this part number, and what would go across here is exactly the same part. The sunroof truck has some little, let me see if I can get this bracket and do a little show and tell for you. So this guy right here, there's a little, this guy right here has a little slot, and he just, if I can do this with the phone and my hand and okay, yeah, oh my God, it's good. So that guy bolts on there, and so then the sunroof assembly, there's a couple of 3 captured nuts which stick in here. I don't think the sunroof assembly really gives any structural help to the truck at all, roof-wise. So you can see this guy bolts up. They're like, I can't remember, they're probably like 140 millimeters on center, but there's 2 other holes in here up on this upper rail that are 70 millimeters apart, which are exactly the same distance as these ones. So I do believe that this cross member, if you could take it out, it's actually just sitting in here. Although these guys are painted in, I did whack on it with the impact, and that ain't coming out of there. And so I'm not gonna wreck it. But there's like window weld, that polybutyl stuff, so it's kind of glued on. So I got somebody looking in Pakistan and elsewhere to see if I can find another one of these cross members, which I think, in theory, should bolt up where this guy goes. I might have to remove, for sure have to remove this thing right here. And I may have to do some grinding and remove part of this. I hope I don't have to remove that entire flange all the way around. That would be a bummer, but I don't think it'd be super hard. There's just, like I said, there's just some, I don't see any what's what I'm looking for. I don't see any spot welds in any of this stuff to the roof panel, and I would be surprised if there was. But I do see, I think the only place it's spot welded is along this flange all the way around. So, and I'll have to strip that anyways because I'm going to weld on that. And I took those measurements and got in Fusion and drew up a pattern and printed it out. And of course, it was the first try. And it's a Sunday, so my print shop's not 100% open. Right? I got a couple of tries out of them, but I'm getting pretty close. And then I'll plasma cut a panel for this guy with some little ears that bend down, and then hopefully, and I'm going to try to mimic there's kind of a, we can get up there and actually look at that. It's kind of, as you'd suspect, you know, you look at it and you think, well, that's easy. So right this is got a hump to it, and actually this front edge has a 5mm radius to it. This back one is completely straight, and you can see my sunroof was actually duct taped. It was leaking really bad. And then, of course, the back measurement across here, like these are, I think I got, these are 70mm radius corners. But this entire thing is not just a rectangle, it's a trapezoid, because this measurement across is larger, of course, than this because the front is skinnier. And it's just enough to be a problem. And so I want to get a fusion representation of it so I can do the plasma cut thing. And then hopefully, if I just make a little bend ear that sticks down, I can then put a clamp on here and clamp that panel in here, and then get that gap really nice. I want that gap to be perfect before I start welding on it, because I think it's going to have to be pretty perfect. Otherwise, it's going to distort the metal up here. So that's going to be a little dicey, but I think I can do it. It's only money. But then I'll have to, and you can see, new color, old color. The paint on my truck is really, really bad. With just soap and water, you can take it right off. Someone did polish it at some point and maybe even put ceramic coating on it in some places, so it's still kind of tough in some places. But most of the places, it just wears right through, and so the colors are going to be way off. So once I get this panel in here and that figured out, I will do the whole roof, and I'll paint that. So my truck's just going to be multiple colors of white for a little bit, and that's okay. It doesn't bother me. So that's what it looks like if that guy's off. I don't think it's a super hard project, but it's going to take some time because the parts are hard to come by, of course. Cheers.